The world and the impact of Gaddafi's death. We're joined by 7 News US Bureau Chief Mike Amor and reporter Martin Frizzell in London. Mike, first up, what's the White House had to say?
Well, it was very interesting, Larry and Kylie, to listen to the language of President Obama, who, by the way, waited 12 hours after the first reports that Gaddafi had either been captured or killed. They wanted to make sure that this one was true because they'd had false reports previously, but they were very keen to play up the fact that Gaddafi had died at the hands of his own people, at the hands of the rebels. Not so keen to mention the fact that his convoy, as he tried to slip out of his hometown of Sirte, was attacked by NATO planes, most notably a French warplane and a US drone that dropped the missiles that stopped that convoy and initially injured Gaddafi. Just what happened to him after that is a matter of speculation. We're hearing reports that he may have died may have been killed by his own famous golden handgun, or perhaps he was wounded in crossfire in the ensuing battle. But certainly Barack Obama came out today and said this is the end of the Gaddafi regime, even though they'd lost power some time ago, and this was a new start for the Libyan people. Let's listen.
So this is a momentous day in the history of Libya. The dark shadow of tyranny has been lifted, and with this enormous promise, the Libyan people now have a great responsibility to build an inclusive and tolerant and democratic Libya that stands as the ultimate rebuke to Gaddafi's dictatorship. We look forward to the announcement of the country's liberation, the quick formation of an interim government, and a stable transition to Libya's first free and fair elections.
Yeah, but both Obama and UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon also saying, look, this is just the start of a new era for Libya. This is going to be a rocky road for them ahead. This is a nation that is still not really united, even though Gaddafi is gone, guys.
Okay, and we have some another footage here of Hillary Clinton, I understand, receiving the news, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. Hillary Clinton was actually in Pakistan conducting a number of TV interviews, and she was on camera when someone handed her a phone with the first reports that Gaddafi was captured, and she responded. Let's have a look at how she responded to that.
Wow. Huh.
Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Yeah.
Unconfirmed.
No. Unconfirmed reports about Gaddafi being captured.
Oh, really?
Unconfirmed. Yeah. We've had too many. We've had a bunch of those before. We've had, have had him captured a couple of times.
Yeah, the White House very slow to respond to this because they've been down this path before and it wasn't true, but we've seen those terribly graphic pictures and it is obviously true this time.
Wow, that is one behind-the-scenes moment right there. Martin, there have been strong feelings about the UK, in the UK, about Libya ever since the Lockerbie bombing, of course, right?
So, Larry, I've just driven past Downing Street on my way here. It's about 400 metres from where I'm speaking. There are no street parties there at all. This is very low-key. Bear in mind, this is Prime Minister David Cameron's first foe. It's his first victory. And when he decided to basically take Libya on at around about the turn of the year, sort of February, March time, bear in mind, many people thought he was being reckless because we were being stretched in Afghanistan at the time, but he thought it had to be done. He pushed for the resolution 1973 in the United Nations, and both he and Nicolas Sarkozy this morning, I suppose, can feel that it's been a job done, much against many critics who said they shouldn't be doing it. Now, as I said, Downing Street playing it quiet. He came out, unlike President Obama, almost straight away once he'd had confirmation from the transitional government that Gaddafi was indeed dead. He came out onto the steps of Downing Street, and notice his body language. He's very modest, he's very somber, and certainly he is not gloating.
I think today is a day to remember all of Colonel Gaddafi's victims, from those who died in connection with the Pan Am flight over Lockerbie, to Yvonne Fletcher in a London street, and obviously all the victims of IRA terrorism who died through their use of Libyan Semtex. We should also remember the many, many Libyans who died at the hands of this brutal dictator and his regime.
David Cameron saying he's very proud of the part that Britain played. Those who are looking at his victory in this are wondering if he's now emboldened by what he's done here. What's next? Syria or possibly Iran?
OK, we thank you very much, Martin Frizzell in London this morning, and also Mike Amos.